Okay. All right, if there's back in open session, we move into action items. A's gone. B's gone. I need a motion.
Yeah.
In making the recommendation that the board vote to non-renew the contracts of employment for Jessica Eaton, Teresa McKenna, Juliana Domignani, and Sarah LaFavre at the end of the 2014-15 school year.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Oh, three of them, I'm sorry. I thought I said one. Okay.
Abstention.
One abstention, I'm sorry.
You didn't ask for abstention.
I didn't ask for abstentions. Approval of the new calendar for the remainder of the 14-15 school year.
No, I don't see it in here, I apologize.
It's different.
Okay.
It's in the electronic packet.
Okay. It's that the last day of school for students will be June 16th, and the last day for teachers will be June 18th, and it meets the requirement by the state of 180 school days.
So moved.
Second.
Bill, Dan. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? I forgot that. Okay. Item removed from the consent agenda on February 18th, 2015. Is there a motion to approve the remove, the item that was removed? Second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstention? One abstention. Mr. Knight. Okay. Consent agenda.
So moved.
Ellen. Second? Jeremy. Discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. Comments for the good of the order. Start with the mayor.
Nothing this evening.
John?
Nothing, thank you.
Dan? Jeremy? Good. Leon?
I would like to see us look at a future meeting at our minutes of our meetings. I think there was a discussion a couple years ago to try to cut back on the minutes, but I think in the cutback, we're losing what was actually discussed at the meeting, so I'd like to see us review that process for how the minutes are created for all of our meetings.
Ellen?
As I'm the liaison for East School, East School was awarded an edible garden program donation of $1,500 from Fit Together and Sustainable Healthy Communities. The staff met and they're doing plots for each grade, so each grade would do a different vegetable. And they're also soliciting donations for seedlings and old tires and cinder blocks and broken ceramics, because they're going to put ceramics on the cinder blocks around each garden. And again, I'm asking that all of us who are liaisons to please contact your schools and just crow about what's good about it.
Okay. Jim? Jim?
Just to draw attention, I guess, or to point out, in the students' report earlier, I feel like she mentioned something about the softball fields not being raked or prepared adequately. mentioned that was a request for help. Most of it was just information sharing, so I just wanted to make sure that that concern was heard.
Bill?
Yeah, before spring break, there was a combined choral concert. It was all of the elementary schools, the middle school, and the high school choirs. That it was very well attended, and kids did a great job.
Thank you. Andrew?
Yeah, as I've been driving by on a regular basis, Lewis Mills, Farmington High, Avon High, and Litchfield High, I notice there's one difference between those schools and Torrington High as you drive by, and that is, as you drive by Torrington High, you have the facility in front for roller blading, things of that nature. And as I've asked several times, I don't think it's really the most appropriate way to have our high school viewed from the public. I don't notice it at any of those four schools that they have anything that gives that type of image to those schools. And I don't think we'll do anything in a very quick manner to potentially resolve that facility in front of our school, but I think the board should look at it at some point to somewhat eliminate it. And then the other observation is when you look at the high school from the front, I think something could be done as far as the blinds, the drapes, the facade of the front. It definitely doesn't have the same public image that you would see at the four high schools that I just mentioned. And I know there's superficial aspects to public education, but those are the types of inferences people get of what type of educational quality may be delivered at Torrington High compared to those schools. So just like to see a little sprucing up if we can. Okay, thank you.
Okay. I'd just like to add the track invitation. There was supposed to be a student use account created by the Varsity Alumni Club so that they could legally handle the event, and that has yet to happen. And if we don't receive that account soon, it's going to have to be forfeited. That event will have to go by. Hopefully they are watching and they reach out to us. I would also like to hit a comment tonight about public speaking. Being a parent of college students, I would like to also, when I went to Torrington High School, we had Henry Pavlik. Does everybody remember Henry Pavlik? You spoke every month. It was mandatory in his class that every student did public speaking every month. These kids never get that exposure, and I mean, it hurts them when they get out into the public. They just can't, they're too nervous. You know, we wait till they're at such an impressionable age that they're afraid to say something in public, but if you catch them earlier, you know, it becomes more comfortable. So that's all I have. Committee reports. Budget. Have you done anything? No.
The budget will be back at work after we get a response from
Okay. Grievance? Have you done anything? We're sticking
that's
with you.
Jim.
Oh,
We've not grievance, we have a grievance coming up on May 4th.
okay. Personnel?
We've been on hiatus for 2 months, and we're looking forward to getting back to work.
Policy?
No meeting in April. I think we're gonna have a fun-filled meeting on the 6th.
School improvement?
We also took this month off for budgetary reasons and look forward to continuing Ellen's party at our own meeting on that same day.
But we're gonna stick with it. THS?
THS, continued discussion about the promotion of Torrington High School. Shows up in an interest in getting people to the Parents' Night from the School Governance Council on the 22nd, but that information will come out. And there was some interest expressed around this table at taking a look at the reorganization of the secondary school, now that it's been a couple of years and you can actually do it. And I think that that's something that Fiona and I will probably talk about structuring for the next few months.
Right back to you.
And that's me again on Net Connection. Net Connection could not have its April Board of Directors meeting because couldn't get a quorum. It was a meeting down in Danbury, notoriously poorly attended. I unfortunately couldn't go because I was here doing an expulsion hearing. So we replaced that with a teleconference meeting to do a couple of necessary pieces of action. But that will happen again in May. We start again, and elections and graduations and awards and the same sorts of things that happen here happen there too. You will all be notified of that through, presumably through the same channels we always have been notified. And I would urge you to come, please, because those are our kids too in so many cases. But that's it. Thank you.
Turfield.
Yeah, I'm going to, and I'm not saying I'm speaking on behalf of the turf committee on this one subject matter, but I believe it's inappropriate for the chair to be involved with the day-to-day operations of that facility. If the superintendent has any type of objections, any type of complaints, it's the superintendent's responsibility to oversee that facility, not the chairman of the board. And I expect, what?
What does that have to do with the turf committee meeting report?
It has to do with your constant interference and observations and involvement with what's going on with that field. It's the superintendent's responsibility to assure that that facility is being run correctly.
It's a
Sure.
committee report.
What
So
committee report?
That's what
Turf
we're on,
committee
committee
report.
reports.
Right, and
What's your
I'm
report for the
talking
turf committee?
on behalf of the turf committee.
What's your report for the turf committee?
That we have an objection and we have a problem with this chairman being involved directly with the day-to-day
Okay, but that's
operation.
not how you started the conversation. You said it's not about the turf committee, it's your personal opinion.
So at the
No,
last
no,
turf committee
no.
meeting, that was the discussion?
We are concerned about your involvement, and we're concerned why the superintendent is not the point person on this subject matter. Can you tell me why you do not take a direct involvement in what's going on with the operation of the athletic fields?
That has nothing to do with your field, your turf committee field report.
I think it directly has something to do with it. But
Comments for the good of the order meeting.
So that being said, the turf committee met, and they'd like to say that there's only a few punch items left by the contractor to do, and that should be done in the next month. The complex held up very well during the winter.
It's 'cause it had a lot of snow on it.
The
It had a
contractor,
lot of snow on it.
what's that?
It's because it had a lot of snow on it and nothing could move.
Well, and that was a good sign that, being that it was such a harsh winter, the kids were still able to get out and utilize the facility in the last couple of weeks, in which they probably wouldn't have been able to utilize it if it was a regular grass field. So things are going well, kids are happy, and I just want to make one more observation, which was I was there a couple of weeks ago and noticed the variety of people utilizing the facility, from an organization that had special needs patients to your traditional hardcore runners that you've seen throughout Torrington, all seeming to really enjoy the facility. So everything's really positive, and that's all I have to say. Thank you.
I just wanted to mention, you had made a comment about the Varsity Alumni Club. I got an email from him at 6:05 tonight, so I'll follow up with them tomorrow.
All right, items for upcoming agenda will be financial statements, committee reports, meeting minutes, because hopefully we'll get all our meetings in. Future meetings are policy Wednesday the 6th at 6, school improvement the 6th at 7 o'clock. Personnel's on the 13th at 6, budget is on the 13th at 7. We are in front of the Board of Finance on the 28th at 6, right? It starts at 6. And the regular Board of Education meeting is Wednesday, May 20th at 6 o'clock. Are you checking? Okay.
Sorry about that. I had
That's fine.
6 and 6:30 on my calendar.
You had 6:30?
I had
Yeah.
moved it in, so I'm not sure when.
And I would do this faster, but my fingers are cold.
I think that might be, the hearing might be first.
No, usually the presentation, the joint meeting, Q&A, and then hearing. But that's, yes. No, I thought he was pumping me out.
I have 6 o'clock. For the special joint Board of Finance and Board of Ed.
Yes, and 6:30 is the public hearing, that's why. So 6 o'clock for the joint meeting, 6:30 for the public hearing.
Okay. Tuesday,
28th.
the 28th.
Of this month.
Yep, 6 o'clock and then 6:30. Motion to adjourn. And all those in favor? Andrew, you got a second?
No.